ask too much from him. You didn't ask him to make any crazy throws. You didn't ask him to go out there and win the game. He was pretty much he was a game manager in this game. Let's call it what it is. The first play of the game, like, of your offensive possession, fucking strip sack from Aaron Donald. Like, welcome to the NFL, kid. And that game could have got disastrous real quick. Your special teams and defense definitely saved the day. Jared Goff was out there just looked like a fucking scrub. Like the throws that he was making, bro. But I kind of get why you guys did that for Tua. Like, we talked about it in our previews. You're going up against Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey, two of the premier defenders in this league that can literally take over games. You don't want to put your young quarterback in a position where he is forced into making plays against that type of talent. And I think you guys protected him well. You let your defense and special teams pretty much lead you guys, and then you just asked him to make a couple of first down throws here or there, and he did. He even threw a touchdown, and when you guys got down on like the 3-4 yard line, he threw a touchdown there. So, I wouldn't read too much into this game if I'm a Miami Dolphins fan into seeing Tua's future. Obviously, we see what Herbert is in Los Angeles so far, where like they're fucking the Falcons of the West. It's amazing how they're just blowing leads again. So I wouldn't read too much into that. Like, I get it. You see what Herbert's doing, but I think Tua is a special talent, and we've seen it in Alabama. We've seen what this kid can do. I think give him a couple more weeks. Like next week, you guys got Arizona, right?
That is correct.
So that's going to be a very fun game. Arizona's defense is not that great, and he's going up against Kyler Murray. So that could be very fun. I think we can see more of what Tua can do in that game there. So I think you should give him about a 4-game type cushion there before you be like, okay, this kid, he can definitely lead us here, or like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I totally see that. It's going to be interesting. So a couple of things that you said there. I think one was pretty intuitive. I think, first of all, it says a lot about the game plan in general, because it didn't seem like they were ready to unleash him, right? Like with Joe Burrow, they must have seen in practice that there's something there that he can come out in his first couple of starts and throw 57 passes, right, or 60 passes, whatever it was.
Yeah, the Bengals realized like they have nothing to lose.
Right, they have nothing to lose, and like let's let this kid throw.
Yeah.
Herbert comes out throwing 300-yard games several times in his first few career starts. That didn't seem to be like what the Dolphins thought they had in Tua. That's what makes me nervous about it. It's like if they thought, wow, this kid's going to come out and be the savior and we're going to bench Ryan Fitzpatrick, let's let him go. That's kind of what I wanted to see here. I kind of wanted to see, all right, let's see this kid sling the rock, right? Yeah. Let's see if he's all what he's advertised. And I think what makes me really nervous is the way they did this now, the Dolphins are going to have a really high pick next year, thanks to Houston's pick. They're going to have probably yeah, seriously. And thanks to Billy O'Stooge and the crew in Houston, we're going to have another top 5 pick next year.
Oh boy. And
I think that the Dolphins are kind of realizing, all right, let's see what we've got here. Let's throw them out there. They threw them out there against Aaron Donald. There's going to be another, you could say great or not so great pass rush with the Cardinals. They can get after the quarterback a little bit, see what he does there. But then, they've got a couple of games against the Jets too coming up. So, I think it's going to be interesting, but I think the Dolphins know what they're doing. I think that they are going to see what they've got in Tua right here, if he's the guy or not, if the injuries are too much of a problem with the ankle and the hip, is he the real deal? And if not, guess what? They're picking early next year. So I'm not saying that they're ready to move on, but the signs are starting to indicate, man, this kid, they didn't come in with a game plan to let him throw, right? They didn't unleash him, and I don't know. He didn't look impressive at all. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I hear you, bro. It sounds to me you sound a little bit too worrisome. I'd give it some time. I hear you. I hear what you're saying. You're making valid points. Give the brother a little bit of time.
I'm with giving him time.
I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. I really do.
I'm with giving him time. I hope that I'm pleasantly surprised. Right, that team is not perfect. Their offensive line isn't great yet. They're in rebuilding mode. I'm all about giving them more time. I just think like these teams know, based on what I saw in the game plan, it's like these teams know what they've got internally, I feel like. And if they thought that they had a kid that was ready to come out there gunslinging and be in that, early first round pick that he's supposed to be, I think they would have done that, right? The only thing that makes me feel maybe that's not the case is like you said, it's just one game, and the game script did read, okay, Tua, go out there, be a game manager. You don't have to sling the rock around when you've scored a special teams touchdown. Your defense has put you, on the 1 yard line. I mean, the game script didn't exactly scream, go out there and chuck the rock all over the field, right? But interested to see. That could be that type of game against the Cardinals. With the Cardinals offense, I think the Dolphins are going to need to score points, and let's see what they do. My last comments on that game are, man, the turnaround with Brian Flores. I think we finally found a coach that's the guy there. Man, he's got that defense playing really well, and I'm very, very excited for the future under Brian Flores. So shout out to him because doing a great job.
Yeah, you guys. You got after Goff. Like, you go look at Goff's number, 355, a touchdown, but he was under duress that whole game. And honestly, the numbers looked that good because they was playing from behind from basically the whole first second half. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
for sure.
Yeah, you guys dominated on defense and then also special teams. Who the fuck is your punt returner? That kid, he was explosive.
Oh, Jakeem Grant?
The kick return and the punt return, man.
For sure.
Great. That's how you flip field positions, man. Like, football is 3 phases, and special teams could be a major factor in wins. A lot of people look like underestimate it, but that was key in that game for me.
I knew he was fast and good, and ironically, as I was playing my season out in Madden, he was one of the only punt returners I was able to return a kick for a touchdown with. Another one that I was playing with was actually Andre Roberts from the Bills. He's another weapon. I love that you said that, because those guys, they can change the complexion of the game, and there hasn't really been, with the way that most of the kickoffs now are just kind of kicked right out of bounds, right through the back of the end zone. You don't see the game-changing plays on kickoffs anymore.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, a good punt returner, like you said, they can really change the complexion of a game really quickly, and Jakeem Grant certainly did that for us. So glad to have a weapon like that.
Can we talk about your second team?
Oh, please, let's do. Hey, and this week, fuck, man, I didn't go with my instinct. I didn't go with my man, Big Game Kirk, and I failed because I should have. I should have gone with my instinct and gone with my team away from team there.
Who, like, Dalvin Cook?
Yeah, man.
What the hell got into him? Like, I knew he's an excellent running back. He's an excellent running back. I think Joe had him top 3?
Yeah.
And he completely dominated the Green Bay Packers, him and the offensive line, almost single-handedly. Like, he scored all of the Vikings points.
He sure did.
It was amazing watching. Like, every time I'm like the red zone, I'm watching it, and then every time they flip over to him, Dalvin Cook, he scores another touchdown.
Just a side note on that, and I hate to cut you off, man. You know I hate doing that, but just to illustrate further your point, he was the first player in NFL history to score touchdowns on his team's first 4 possessions. So that's a hell of a start to a game for a player. And
ridiculous.
There you go. There's that. So continue.
Yeah. I did not see that coming whatsoever. I thought Green Bay was just going to beat the bricks off this Minnesota team. And it literally took like a fucking Herculean effort from Dalvin Cook for them to pull this game out. Aaron Rodgers, he played great as well. You go look at his numbers, almost 300 yards throwing and almost 3 touchdowns, but all to Devontae Adams, by the way. They, I don't know about Green Bay, man. Obviously this is a division game. So division rivalries, those always are weird games. We've seen them get smacked around by Tampa Bay when they play them. They playing San Fran on Thursday, right? I think that's the Thursday night game.
So. Yep.
And we've seen what San Fran did to them last year. This is a different San Francisco team, obviously. But I'm very curious to see how Green Bay finishes off, because the main thing that we were talking about with them was Aaron Rodgers doesn't have weapons. They failed to do anything at the trade deadline that just passed today. Like, they was in talks of trying to acquire Will Fuller from Houston, and they didn't want to give up a second round pick for him, what Houston was looking for, which I think I would have done for Will Fuller. I think he's one of those A very good deep threat when he's healthy. That's really the key with him. So you don't give him any weapons to work with there, and you draft his replacement, and then it's just kind of like, Rodgers. This Green Bay team remind me a lot of that Patriots team last year, where he got one reliable target outside and Devontae Adams, and Patriots had Julian Edelman. Not comparing those two together, but you get what I'm saying.
Sure.
And the Patriots at least had a fucking top 3 defense. What's the Green Bay defense rank? I would assume at best league average, probably 15, 16, 17. So it's like you put all this pressure on Aaron Rodgers to lead you to the promised land without giving him anything to work with. Like you go and you pay this contractor a bunch of fucking money, but give him no tools to work with. It's like, what do you expect?
I think it's just that Green Bay has been leaning on Aaron Rodgers for so long that they may have lost sight of the fact that, everybody needs help in today's NFL. And I think that you're right. I think that they thought maybe they had the weapons around him. And in fairness, if Aaron Jones is there and if, Devontae Adams is healthy, that's not a bad, 3-man combo right there. So they've got one of the premier wide receivers in the league. So having a great number 2, of course, they certainly don't have. But to say that he doesn't have any weapons, I think, is a little unfair. But I mean, with that being said, they're in an interesting position now, sitting at 5-2 after that loss, because you're right. There's so many teams where you look at them and you don't know exactly what you're going to get. And it seems to me like Green Bay week in and week out is one of those teams. But I got to give credit where credit's due. Minnesota, they took it to them. They had a game plan, and they ran Dalvin Cook 30 times and exposed that front 7 of Green Bay. And if you want to say get Aaron Rodgers some help, I think you need to give that Green Bay team some help on defense, because they seem like they can get run over. And that was the big knock on them last year, that they were soft and that they were very prone to be beaten on. Yeah. And it seems like not much has changed since last year. So
yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know about him, man. I like Aaron Rodgers, one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen. And but it's only so much he can do. He's only so much he can do. They need to do. I mean, now they can't really trade for nothing, so I don't know what the fuck they're going to do moving forward. Yeah. So that's going to be. And
I love what you said. I love what you said about Will Fuller, because that would have been a perfect fit for.
Yeah,
exactly what they needed. Because Devontae Adams, I mean, he's about as close to a fully complete receiver. Maybe not much of a blocker, and he's not exactly a deep vertical threat either. I mean, he can run all the routes. He's got great hands. He's good around the goal line, but he's not a vertical threat. That's exactly what they were missing. And interesting to see that they, again, they weren't able to complete a move to bring in some help here. So very, very interesting.
Yeah, man, 100%. I kind of want to discuss the, I don't want to spend too much time on it. I kind of called a 50-point blowout for this team. I really thought the Chiefs was just going to go out and just destroy the Jets, which they did. Like they covered.
They did.
They covered. So that was my lock of the week. But I was Patrick Mahomes. Go out there. They're having as much fun as you could possibly have. And the only reason I really want to touch on this game, I don't think I've ever seen like a team. Maybe the Cleveland Browns, the 0-16 Cleveland Browns, but it just seems like the Jets just don't want to play. Like they just go out there and just want to get that game over with as soon as possible. And it's so sad to see. Like the Chiefs are out there. Like it was a point where they're up, like, I don't know, it's like 21-3 or some shit like that. And they play swag surf, and you just got the whole Chiefs defense just fucking swag surfing while the Jets are trying to call a play on offense.
Yeah, man.
Giving zero fucks about anything. I'm like, this is so embarrassing. Oh my God, I feel so bad for Jersey fans, bro. I really do.
Yeah, there really hasn't been a team like this that has been this bad, this obviously bad. And, I just got done talking about the parity in the NFL, and I think this is what it looks like when a team is truly bad in today's NFL, right? Like we can poke fun at a lot of teams like like the Chargers, for example, that just can't seem to put it together. I know you like to poke fun at the Vikings. We can talk about the Lions, but guess what? All of those teams